Welcome to Off Balance, the podcast where faith, family, and business collide. I'm Dr. Brooks, a certified master life coach, transformational speaker, and author. Join me as we explore the journey of overcoming adversity and developing resilience. It's time for you to find your strength and reclaim balance. This is Off Balance.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Off Balance, where we talk honestly about what it means to live with intentions across the worlds of faith, family, and business. I'm your host, Dr. Brooks, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're leaning into the family part of that trifecta because let's be real, being an entrepreneur and being present at home can sometimes feel like a tug of war. We love our families deeply. We also care deeply about what we're building. But how do we show up at home with the same energy and presence we give to our business? What happens when the schedule gets full, the kids need more of us, and our spouse feels like they're getting the leftovers? What happens when you just can't seem to put your phone down? This episode is about realignment because putting family first doesn't mean our dreams have to come last. Let's talk about what that looks like. There's this subtle message out there, especially in the hustle culture, that if you're truly serious about your business, your family has to understand and they'll come second for a while. Maybe if you heard of that, maybe if you lived it, maybe you have become the person that doesn't show up for sporting events, that decline invites to birthdays. Maybe you're the person that hasn't been on vacation in a while because you have been so busy hustling. You have been so busy trying to build your business that you have somehow neglected those around you. Here's what I've learned. When we constantly choose our work over our people, even with good intentions, we're planting seeds that grow into distance, resentment, or disconnect. And that's not what we want. In our hearts, we want to be able to provide for the people that we love, but where do we find that balance to be able to provide and to be present? I've had seasons where I was so focused on building that I barely looked up. I'll tell myself this is for them, but the truth, my family didn't just want what I could build for them, they wanted me. And what's interesting enough is I was pursuing a doctorate degree. So I was pursuing a doctorate degree. I was working full time. I was also running my business as well as I was taking care of my mom. I just had a lot going on. I was being a wife and a mother, and I just was so busy trying to build for the future that I was not present, right? And so I had to recognize that my family wanted my time, my presence, and my attention. And so this episode, although I'm focusing on entrepreneurship, there could be many things that are keeping you from being present with your family. It can be if you're pursuing a degree, if you're pursuing a certificate, if you're pursuing perfection on your job and you're trying to get promoted. It can be a lot of things that we allow to be number one over our family. If you're in ministry, there are so many things. If you're volunteering, so this episode is just for you to check your heart. What has your heart? Because that thing that has your heart is going to have your time. So let's reframe something today. We're going to reframe family first. Family first doesn't mean everything falls apart. It doesn't mean we stop dreaming. It means we put the most important relationships in their rightful place, not in competition with our calling, not in competition with our business, not in competition with our endeavors, but as a part of it. Because what good is success if we're disconnected from the people we love most? So, what does family first really look like? For me, it looks like being interruptible, even when you're in a flow, setting boundaries that protect your evenings or weekends, creating rhythms of connection, not just random moments when it's convenient. And it also looks like inviting your family into your dreams, not building separately from them. When I coach my clients and I have them create what I call their strategy, the strategy includes the action steps that they're going to take to reach their overall plan, right? Their overall goals. I have them put their family in the picture because I want them to realize the importance of including your family. You want your family to be a part of your journey because if they are a part of your journey, when something happens, say for instance, if you have a goal and you have a mile marker attached to the goal, and you're like, well, in 3 months, I want to achieve this. And let's say you get to the 3 month mark and you haven't achieved the goal. Sometimes we can begin to blame and resent people for our inability to reach a goal. But if you have those same people included, those people are stakeholders, you're 9 times out of 10 not going to resent them. You're 9 times out of 10 not going to um, blame them because they are stakeholders. And so they have been supporting you. They have had a part to play. And so that's why I tell my clients, you have to put your family on your vision board. You have to put your family in your vision. You have to have your family as a part of the journey, right? And so that is so important. And for me personally, when the new year started, I was originally coaching 6 days a week, then I went to 5 days a week, but now I only coach 3 days a week. I coach Monday through Wednesday, right? Because on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays, that's my time for my family, my personal development, and just to make sure that I can regroup and work on my business. And so I adjusted my schedule because I was doing a lot because I typically coach in the afternoons and evenings, and it was just taking a lot away from my family. So in 2025 forward, I will no longer do that. So I coach Monday through Wednesday. And so let me give you three rhythms that have helped me stay grounded in my family, even in busy seasons. The first rhythm is intentional transitions. Intentional transitions. That moment when you walk out of your office or log off your laptop, it matters. So before you shift from work to family mode, take 60 seconds, pause, breathe, pray, ask God to help you fully be present. One thing I don't like is when you are with your family or you go into family mode, those cell phones, like put the cell phones down, put the tablets down. You don't have to check your emails. You are with your family. So your spouse, your kids, they don't need your strategy brain. They need your presence. So that's important. Number two is family check ins. Once a week, maybe a Sunday night, check in as a family. What's working, what's not, how are we doing? Um, as many of you know, our daughter recently went to college. She's a freshman and she's finishing up her first year. Sundays is when we all talk. If we don't call her, she's gonna call um, her dad and myself separately. And so that's our family check-in days, our Sundays. And so this opens up space for honesty and it shows your family that they matter enough to review and not just react. And so we talk about, how was our week, what things we want to improve upon. And so that is the thing that we do on Sundays. Number three is going to be that undivided time. Block it off like a meeting. Whether it's a date night, game night, or even a Saturday adventure, protect time with your family. No multitasking, no last minute cancellations. This isn't just quality time, it's investment time. If you are an entrepreneur, you are all about investments, you are all about a return of investment. And there is no greater return of investment than investing in your family. So you want to block off time. You want to be able to spend that dedicated time with your family. Here's a thought that challenged me. What if I led at home with the same intention I lead in business? What if for my home I plan? What if for my home I actually, come up with goals for my family? Because for my business, I plan vision all the time. But what about my family, right? I set goals and schedule meetings. What about setting time for prayer with my spouse? What about setting time to travel with my daughter? Spend time with her. She is becoming a young woman. And so, what greater influence does she need in her life than her mom as she's transitioning from a teenager to a young adult, right? And so I don't know where you are in and what age range your kids are, even if you have children. But just what if? What if you led your family in the same way you lead your company? And if you are married, I'm not talking about the leadership to where if you are a female entrepreneur that you try to lead your husband. I'm not talking about that. I'm just simply talking about leading an initiative, right? We don't need to be perfect, but we do need to be present and intentional. Intentional. Leadership starts at home. And here's the beauty. When your home life is whole, your business life gets stronger. You're not building on shaky ground. You're building on love, trust, and alignment. Let me repeat this. When your home life is whole, your business life gets stronger. You're not building on shaky ground. You're building on love, trust, and alignment. And that's what I call a solid foundation. Let me ask you, what's one area where your family needs more of you right now? I'm speaking of right now as you're listening to this podcast. What one area where your family needs more of you right now? Is there a conversation you've been avoiding because work has been full or too full or because work has been a distraction? Have you asked your spouse lately how they feel about your balance? Have you spoken to your kids lately about how they feel about you being present or not present? Have you had those conversations with your family? So I want to challenge you this week. I want you to choose one intentional rhythm to practice this week. One intentional rhythm. Remember the three rhythms was intentional transitions, family check-ins, and undivided time. So this week, I want to challenge you to choose one intentional rhythm to practice. Maybe it's a tech-free dinner. Maybe it's showing up for bedtime without your phone. Maybe it's asking your spouse, how can I support you better this week? Because small shifts lead to lasting change. We have to be more intentional with our family. Family first is literally putting your family first. You don't have to choose between family and dreams. You just have to steward them both with intention, right? I was able to run my business, work full time, be consistent with my content on social media, earn a doctorate degree, take care of my mom, be present in my marriage, and be present as a mother because I understood that God allowed me to steward in all of these roles. And I had to have honor, right? I had to give each role honor. I couldn't take advantage of the role. I could not give one role more significant than the other role, right? So I had to learn how to steward with intention. Yes, it takes work. I'm not telling you that it's not going to take work. I'm not telling you that you're not going to experience up and down of trying to figure it out. There will be tension sometimes, but God has grace for the balance and wisdom for the in between, right? So once you decide, I'm going to be intentional about putting my family first, God is going to give you grace and wisdom. He's going to help you in your transition. And if you don't believe like I believe, whatever you believe, just know that it's going to work out for you. So let me leave you with this scripture. 1 Timothy 3:5. If anyone does not know how to manage his own family, How can he take care of God's church? That verse humbles me every time because before we lead in the marketplace, we're called to lead in our own living room. You are not off balance. You are learning how to prioritize what matters. And that's sacred work, right? That is so sacred. In First Timothy 3, Paul, he had it right. Paul had it right because Paul was talking about the godly leader demonstrates his leadership ability first in his own home. Paul recognized that it is in the home where our Christianity is first demonstrated. And so if you are a believer of Christ, then you have to demonstrate your leadership in your home first, right? And so I just want to encourage you to put family first. And if you're not a Christian, I still want to encourage you to put your family first. Don't do all of this stuff and get all of these riches and you don't have a relationship with your family. You don't have a relationship with your children. You want to make an impact on your family. It's sad, it would be a sad thing to have a great impact on the world, but not your family. So I just want to encourage you, put your family first. You don't have to choose between family and business. You have the ability to balance them both. So thanks for being here today. If this episode encouraged you, would you share it with a friend who's navigating the same tension? And if you haven't yet, hit that follow button. I've got more conversations coming your way to help you live a life that's rooted and aligned in biblical principles. Until next time, stay grounded, stay faithful, stay resilient, and remember, you're not off balance, you're becoming.
Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to rate this episode and share it with your family and friends. To learn more about your host,